Thank you. Okay, good afternoon, dear audience. It's lovely to see you today, and I'm very delighted to be part of this event. And today I'm going to talk about the power of the subconscious mind. I'm a practitioner of the technique called quantum healing hypnosis therapy. This is a technique which involves communication with a very deep and very wise aspect within us, called the subconscious mind. It is an aspect which holds infinite knowledge and infinite love, and it can help to provide healing to the individual and give guidance and messages. So today, what I'm going to share with you is some of the beautiful and important messages that the subconscious gives during the sessions. And also I'm going to give you some of the techniques and tools that you can use on an everyday basis to keep in touch with your own subconscious. So first of all, let me start by giving you a couple of words about quantum healing hypnosis therapy. This is a technique that was developed by an American hypnotherapist called Dolores Cannon and is now widely practiced all around the world as a profound healing technique. Basically, quantum healing is achieved through guided imagery, and it has two main components. One is a past life regression, and another one is communication with the subconscious. So the past life regression element includes when an individual is taken through one of their past lives, and their past lives always have an important message for their current life. So something that they need to know, something that can help them at that stage of their life. It can be different things. I'll give you a couple of examples so you understand what it is about. For example, one lady came to the session and she went back to a past life of a small Indian child who grew up in a very poor surroundings, in a small family where they had very little money and little food to eat. So it was very challenging for them to grow these children in the family. But as he grew up, he managed to become a very famous architect in that city where he lived. So he achieved a lot of success. He had many talents in that life. And at a later stage of that life, he saw himself standing in front of a beautiful dam that he built. And he was looking at that and admiring his own creation. So the message for that lady, for that regression, was that from nothing, from very poor surroundings, you can build up everything in your life. So you can create things. So they meant to say that even if you didn't have anything in the beginning, you have the talent. So if you could do it in the past life, you can then do it in the present life. So that's an example of an inspiring message for the person in a past life regression. Now, what other things can a past life regression do? It can help detect an issue and find a cause for any psychological, emotional, or physical issue if it originates in a past life. Let me give you an example of a physical issue. For instance, there was a man who came for a session and he went back to a past life of a gladiator in ancient Rome. And he actually died on the arena when he was hit by a sword by another person who he was having a battle with. Now that man had this unknown pain of unknown origin during all his life, so he couldn't understand what it's all about. So when he was able to see where that pain originated, he was able to let it go because there was no longer need for that pain anymore. So that's how powerful past life regression can be, if the cause is residing in the past life. Now, when we deal with past life regressions, it's amazing how many different incarnations soul can go to. It's not only human incarnations, it's also all kinds of other beings that they can experience past lives with. For example, trees, animals, plants, birds, elements, and even lives on other planets. It's becoming now increasingly, more and more often, people go to some other existences in other planes and other planets. And it is always very interesting to see those examples. Now, I will give you one example of that kind. When a young woman came for a session, and her issue was that she always had a feeling of deep sadness. All her life, she couldn't understand why, but she was feeling so sad in all situations, and she couldn't understand where this feeling was coming from. So when she went back to a past life, she saw herself in an unusual surrounding. She saw herself as an energy being, no body, just energy, on a beautiful red coral planet. So everything on that planet was red and orange. And all that being was doing, she was flying around in the air, in the water, diving in. And sometimes she would join in the current with other energy beings, so they will come together and then they will separate. And it was such an existence full of joy, full of love for her. She really enjoyed that. When I asked her about the purpose in that life, she said that I'm breathing in life to this planet. I'm like part of the breath of the planet. That's my job here, and I love it so much. But what happened next? When we moved further on to a later stage of that life, all of a sudden, all the colors were gone. There was no more red color, and she saw pale green. And she became just so upset. She said, oh my God, it feels like my planet is dying now. It's no longer the same planet. It is being destroyed now. She felt so sad because of that. She said, I don't want to leave this planet. It is my own planet. I belong here. So eventually she had to go because the planet was dying. And when she went to the other side, and this usually happens, that people also experience going to the life between lives place. And sometimes they're greeted by their guides there. Guides are the beings who look after us on the other side, and they help us with our spiritual development. So she was greeted by the guides, and they were trying to support her and console her and say, look, we know it's happened this way, now you have to move on. You have to let go of that planet. You've had that life, you learned your lessons, you've done your purpose. But she still didn't want to let go. She was still holding, she says, I want to go back, I want to go back. So what happened? After a while, she incarnated on Earth, which is her existence right now. So imagine that. She carried that feeling of sadness for all these generations, for all these lifetimes, and she still has this now. So that's how we found the primary reason for that sadness in her eyes and in her soul. So we worked with that. Didn't only find out the reason, but also we worked with that with the subconscious. And that's the main part of the session in quantum healing. We work with the subconscious mind. And I have to say, the subconscious mind in this technique is bigger than the subconscious usually understood by psychologists. It is more of a higher self, or the universal mind. I'm sure you heard about that before. It's like this universal knowledge which encompasses us all. And it has extreme powers. Power to heal and power to give guidance. Now I'd like you to, just for a second, imagine that power. So if we were to feel that all around us is this invisible energy which is looking after us all the time, is this invisible power which takes care of us, and it knows everything which is happening with us, it watches all the time, and it is whispering messages of guidance all the time, trying to help us in all situations. Now this invisible power knows everything that has ever happened to us in this lifetime, in all the other lifetimes that we have ever lived. It knows everything. And it knows where we are now in this situation, in this life. What is our purpose? What are our lessons? So it can help at this stage of this life now. So this is what we deal with. This is the power called the subconscious. So the subconscious is capable of profound healing. And they do it during the session, when they agree to do the healing on a person. Now, how does it work? So when we reach the level of the subconscious, we ask them if they can heal a certain aspect, if a person has any kind of ailment in the body. And the subconscious does it with the help of the white light. They always use the white light. So they spread it around the body and they feel the body with the white light. And this way, they're removing the blockages, any residue energy, anything which is carried over and is not needed by the body anymore. Now, I have to say that the subconscious has to agree to work on a particular aspect, because there can be situations that a particular discomfort or ailment is serving a person in a way. So it can be a lesson that the person needs to learn. In this case, the subconscious will say, we want him to learn it himself. We are not going to do this now, because that's his lesson, that's the plan. We want him to go through this, and that's respected. But generally, they work with the white light. So this information is available for sharing, so you can use the technique for yourself. The white light is a really very powerful force. So what you can do a little meditation for yourself whenever you find a comfortable time. Basically, you imagine that there is like a ray of light coming from the top and gently touching your head here. And you really visualize it or feel it. Do whatever feels right for you. And it goes inside and it spreads around the head, all the organs, and going down and down and down the whole body. Just really feel it, the way that you can. And very soon you're going to feel the healing power of that white light. Just feel it going around all the organs, and you can stop and you can bathe the organs. Very shiny, very full of light. If there are any parts of the body which needs it more, you can move more light there. There's abundant light. And just let it stay there for a while, let it do its work. And this stuff really works because when we imagine things, this is happening on an energy level. And the subconscious always says that healing has to start from the energy level. It's always energy first, and then it's the physical body. So there is no point sometimes healing the symptoms as such, because it's only the effect. The cause is always there. So it's important to keep that energy flow, the free energy flow in the body. So you can do the white light healing. Also, you can apply it not only to your body, but also to some situations in life. For example, if you're experiencing any difficult situation at work or in a relationship, you can visualize that situation in your mind and just feel that picture with the white light. Imagine you have the power to move the white light there and just fill the whole screen with the white light as much as you can, making it bright, 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 and let it dissolve all the residue energy, everything that you don't need anymore in that situation, and it will take it away. You will notice that you will feel better and better the more you do it. Just remember to do it and take your time. Okay? So that is the subconscious. Now, today I'd like to share with you how we can actually communicate with the subconscious mind. Because the most beautiful thing about this is that everyone, each and every one of you, have their own subconscious. We've all got it. And they're talking to us all the time, whispering messages of guidance. It's only a matter of listening. The information is always there. So how do we listen to the subconscious? Here. Heart and intuition. This is the gateway. This is how they speak. If you were to imagine that the subconscious wants to get through to us, and they find this little door, and they knock on the door and say, hello, listen, this is what you're supposed to be doing, the door will be here. So it's always about going inwards and listening to that part of ourselves. You probably all know what intuition is about. It's this kind of a gut feeling, when we feel what is right for us or what is not right for us. When we feel this internal pull, like a nudge, that you feel you need to do something, you need to take a particular course or meet a particular person. You will always know it when you listen to this part. But we also have the conscious mind, which is more superficial. The conscious mind is on this level. And the conscious mind likes to think, it likes to analyze, it likes to judge, it likes to compare, and it goes bzz, bzz, bzz during the day, very active. So it's about remembering to go back to our heart, to our intuition, because it's always there. We have it all by birth. It's our born gift to be intuitive. So it's about remembering. Now, what I usually do, and what I suggest you can do if you want to be in touch with your intuition, is throughout the day, as you go by, remember to ask yourself a question. What does my inner voice tell me now? It's a very simple technique, but it really works. The only thing you need to do is to remember to do it. Okay? So you can also put it on a piece of paper and maybe put it somewhere at home, maybe on a wardrobe, so you can see it, so it can act as a reminder for you. Or maybe at work. But every time you do it, just stop all thinking for a second, let go of all the thoughts of everything you're doing, and really go inwards and ask yourself, what does your inner voice tell you now? You may be surprised. Sometimes the inner voice will say things that you didn't even think about. For example, you'll be walking on the street and thinking about what you have to do, where you have to run, and then you ask your inner voice to tell you information. It says, relax and smile and give love to people, those kind of things. So really try it and see how it works. Okay, so that's the inner voice. Now, how else does the subconscious communicate with us? They also speak to us through visions and dreams. This is their way of getting messages to us. So during the night, they conjure up a special set of images to show to us in a very particular way, because they know exactly what to show and how to show, which images will have an effect to us. And if you want to decode a dream, to interpret a dream, what the subconscious always recommends, they say that you have to look at a particular image that you receive. For example, you see a black cat in a dream. So it can be different, the meaning can be different for each particular person because we have different associations. But what you always have to do is to look beyond the image. Look beyond and connect to the feeling that this symbol is giving you. Now, the feeling is the utmost important here. So really connect. And you can also ask yourself, is there any situation in life where you get the same feeling? What does this feeling remind you of? And then you will start getting ideas about what it's all about. Okay, so this is a useful technique. Another technique which you probably heard about, which is very, very good, is a dream journal. Okay? this helps to strengthen the connection with the subconscious on a regular basis. So in the morning when you wake up, especially if you had any significant dreams with major feelings during the night, take your time and write it down in a dream journal. Okay, just put the main things that happened. The more you'll be doing it, the more you'll be able to actually see what are all the patterns that happen in your dream. Who are the main characters in your dream? What do you usually feel? Which situations you find yourself in? So you will be able to see the clear whole picture. And that really helps with receiving more and more messages. So you'll be able to remember your dreams more once you do it. Okay, so dream journal is very good. Now, you can also talk to the subconscious just with the power of the intention. You can take a time to talk to them during meditation. The subconscious always says that it's very important first to listen to the inner voice. They say it during the sessions. Almost in every session they would say it. To go inwards. Sometimes they can become even humorous. And I remember a case when the subconscious was telling a person off and they said, "We've been telling him this for ages and he doesn't listen. You know, he's supposed to listen to us. That's how we speak to him." So they can become really, really tough sometimes. So inner voice and also meditation. They always speak about meditation. You have to meditate. And it really doesn't have to be complicated. They don't say you have to sit there for hours and take special positions and stuff like that. No, regular. Discipline, that's all we need. They say 5-10 minutes per day, just clear your mind, really connect, and that will be much more beneficial than going into deeper practices for some people. So if you want to talk to your own subconscious, they're always here. They're always available. They're always ready to help. What you can do, you can find some free time when you won't be disturbed and just close your eyes, take a couple of deep breaths, and put all your attention inwards, turn your attention inside. And then what you can do, you can count from 10 to 1, slowly, and you can even tell yourself that I'm going deeper and deeper with every number. So you can say it aloud, or you can say it to yourself, it's up to you. Now when you reach number 1, this is when you're going to be feeling very relaxed. And then at that point you can ask your subconscious to come forward and really make an intention, really feel it's happening, because belief is a key factor here. You have to believe it is happening. So imagine the subconscious coming forward, ask for it, and then in that space, listen for any guidance or any messages that you receive. Also, if you have a particular question, you can ask a question and then hear what will be the answer. You will notice that the superficial level will go. There will be less fear, less doubts, less worries at this level. It will be just the pure information coming from inside. And the more you do it, the better it will work. So after you finish, don't forget to thank the subconscious and count yourself out. So say 1, 2, 3, and you're becoming more aware of the room. So become very grounded, very present in the room again. And taking a couple of deep breaths and coming back to the space where you started from. Okay. So I would like to share a couple of words about the main messages that the subconscious give during the session. To be honest with you, although individual people come for sessions with their own problems, with their own issues, some of the messages that the subconscious shares are applicable to everybody. And they're so powerful. They can sound very simple, but they're so true and so powerful and can help many people at the same time. So what they always say, trust. Trust is so important. Yourself, first of all, here. Trust yourself, trust the universe, trust what's happening. Believe in yourself. They always try to support the people. They say, even if you have some ideas which make you feel fearful or something, if you really feel you're supposed to be doing that, go for it. You know, if you feel you need to go and volunteer in a hospital, and that happens sometimes during sessions, people get some unusual ideas, they say, go for it. This is your inner feeling. This will be right. And then the universe will help. The universe will guide you forward. Then they always say, don't worry about anything. Let go of the worries. Worries is the major factor which stops us. Worries, doubts. They say that when we're doubting, we're not moving. We're staying in one point of the path. So trust is that vehicle which will bring us forward on the path of our life. And finally, love. Love is the most important thing. They always say it. And it is love towards ourselves. It is love towards the world. The whole love in the world. So just remember that feeling. And I would like to read now one quote from one of the sessions, just for you to feel And when you'll be listening to this, just try and listen with your heart and really connect to that energy of the subconscious. You will feel the way they speak. Okay. We would like to say that love is all around, and that's the most important thing. You should give love to people who surround you and nurture from their love too. All people are connected, and the awareness of the fact that you're surrounded by people who are in your life for a reason, people you might have been connected to for many, many lifetimes, should help you to give that love and feel and understand other people at the level of the heart. You should imagine life as an ocean or a sea, and you are sitting on a small boat and you are being swayed from side to side. And even if the wind starts, even if it is a hurricane, you will still stay in the boat and it will never turn upside down. As well as in life, when something is happening, remember that you are in a boat that will never turn upside down. This boat is you, is us, is everyone around. Thank you.